My name is James Flum, and I'm the project director with the Missouri Department of Transportation, and this is the Improve I-70 Kansas City project. Our focus in phase 2 on the project for this year is the reconstruction of the bridges at Benton, at Cleveland, 27th Street, Lister, Oakley, Manchester, and excavation of soil along eastbound I-70 for the 4th additional lane. With all of this work that's been going on in this phase, we've also had an eye towards the impact of the World Cup that's coming to Kansas City. And so in working with our contracting teams, we've really been intentional about thinking about what will the work zone look like in June and July of this year. And so that includes working with the team to make sure that we have 3 lanes in each direction open in the months of June and July so that traffic going to and from the stadiums will be able to get in easily. Down here on Benton, the construction of the new westbound alignment continues. We have continued work from the ground up with our columns and our caps. And this past spring, we've been working on setting our girders that go from one column to the next. Once the girders are set, then we start all the formwork that'll hold our concrete during its pours. So this includes laying down our stay-in-place forms that go from girder to girder. And then on the edge, we have to construct our overhang jacks and our decking to construct the outside edge of the bridge. Down here on the southern end of the Benton Curve, we're continuing the process of building the new westbound alignment for westbound I-70. This work includes building the foundations for the bridge at multiple locations. So that involves us drilling down into the earth to be able to pour our concrete and our steel for our foundations. Once those are poured and cured out, then we transition over to where we start building up out of the ground. So that's building our columns up and then our caps that go across that. We're here at the bridge construction on Cleveland and at 27th Street. And for the Cleveland bridge, you can see that we're in various stages of construction. So on the west end, we've driven the foundations into the ground to hold the end of the bridge up. And we're starting the construction of the wall that'll go around that foundation. And then as we transition to the median, you can see that we've also constructed the columns and the cap that will eventually carry the girders over I-70. And then on the east end of Cleveland, we've finished construction of the wall and we've driven the foundations into the ground. And now we're just constructing the final bit of concrete that will help carry the load of the girders. One of the improvements that's coming to the I-70 corridor as a part of this project is the addition of a 4th lane for eastbound I-70. In order to add this 4th lane eastbound, the construction crews have actually had to cut back into the existing hillsides in order to make room for this 4th lane. And so that's involved the crews coming in, excavating the soil out, and depositing it elsewhere along the corridor. Down here at Lister Avenue, work continues and a lot of progress has been made this year. Over the winter, we were able to come in and build the ends of the bridge. And then this spring, we've been able to come in and work in the median of I-70 to construct the center column. With that constructed and the ends of the bridge constructed, we were then able to come in, place our girders that span over the highway, and now we're working on setting the green rebar that will go into our bridge decks. Over the next few weeks, we'll pour the concrete to create the driving surface for this bridge. As the work has continued, we're still on schedule to open this bridge in September of this year. Over here on the eastern end of the project, work has begun on the Manchester Bridge. In order for us to widen eastbound I-70 to 4 lanes, the Manchester Bridge is going to have an extra lane added onto it for a part of the bridge. Behind me we have the existing Manchester Bridge with its columns and its cap that come up out of the ground. Next to the existing bridge are 3 individual columns coming out of the ground that will carry the new girders for the widened I-70. In order to do that, we have to come down below and start with the construction of our foundations and our columns up out of the ground. So as you can see, a lot of work has been going on this spring on the project. This work is being done in order to make sure that we stay on schedule for the opening of I-70 for the World Cup and then also to make sure that we stay on schedule for the eventual closure of I-70 for 11 months in 2027. To stay up to date on the progress of the project, visit us at modot.org or follow modot.kc on social media.